Hi everybody, it's Amy at CraftyCat, and as you can see I have the hashtag Color Combo 2023 card here because we're going to combine Watercolor Wednesday and the color combo. So if you're not familiar with the hashtag Color Combo 2023, it's a color challenge. So the challenge is to try to use colors that maybe we normally wouldn't use, and together, because that's why it's a combo, you're using 2 colors each week. So each month, Tammy at Lou Frou Frou Studio, and there will be a link to her description box in the description box to her channel below. She takes one color. This month was yellow, and then each week she adds one color to it, and that's how you end up with the combo. Sorry, I keep hearing, oh, I had some pencils on the table in a bag and they were moving. That was weird. Anyways, so this week is yellow and lilac. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is something kind of like this that I did last week, and I did this on my own. I didn't do this with you guys because I just wanted to play around and try some of the Distress oxide sprays as paint like watercolor. I use them the exact same way I would use watercolors, and I got this idea from the Creative Cove because she has done things like this before. So I used my fall fodder stencils and drew out the little mushrooms and leaves, and then I used the Distress oxides. I'm going to be using yellow and purple today. I may not end up with the exact version of lilac that I have, because the version I have, and I know lilacs come in this kind of a color too, a mix, but this one is a little more blue. I might use a little bit of it, but we're just gonna play around basically with purple and yellow is what it comes down to try to get you know, one of those images kind of like this, just different colors. Wow, that was a lot of explaining. So anyways, I want to say hugs and blessings to Theola and Gloria and Nan for always leaving me just wonderful, kind comments. I appreciate you guys so much. I cannot even tell you. You're all wonderful. And a super thank you, oh my goodness, to Oz Jan. You spoil me. Love you, my friend. Jan has been with me for quite some time, and as have Gloria, Nan, and Theola. And I just appreciate you guys so much. You're so kind to me, and always have really nice comments and all of that. So thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. So what we're going to do is just use, this is 140-pound watercolor paper, and I'm just going to use my fall fodder. This is the first set that I did with the mushrooms, so I'm going to use the mushrooms, and we'll use some leaves, and we're just going to use a pencil to get started so that you know, I can erase whatever I need to. Like, I'll have to erase that bit right there. Probably should have just left it open at the top. That would have been easier than having to erase, but we'll just go right across here and we'll erase that. It's not a problem. So how are you guys doing today? I hope everybody is fantastic and staying cool, not too drenched in water. I mean, there's all the things, right? Away from fires. I mean, my goodness, it's been just crazy with all the things that have gone on this summer. It's kind of exhausting, honestly. So I hope you guys are all doing okay. So I want to have, you know, multiple mushrooms here. I think what I might do is just bring that down just a little bit. We're just going to kind of extend our stem here, because that's the cool part about stencils, is you can use them, you know, however you want or whatever works best for you. And this mushroom I'm actually going to kind of do behind the other one, so you're only going to see part of it. So I will just stop wherever, you know, the other mushroom is. And then I'll probably do a shorter one here too. And this one I think I'll put in front. We could even, let's kind of tip the head of this mushroom, and then I'll just draw a stem. It'll be easier. I mean, they're not that hard. Mushrooms are one of the simplest things you can draw because really there's no right or wrong. They come in all different sort of shapes, like little umbrellas or more like these kind, or round. I mean, you know, they come in all different shapes. So that is the cool part about a mushroom. So we'll just do something like that. And then I'm going to take some of the leaves from, this is the second set of fall fodder, or no, yes, the ones with the pumpkins are the second set. And I'm just going to kind of put the leaves back behind the mushrooms because I don't want to cover the mushrooms. And the cool part about this is when you're making up these little scenery things, you can do them however you like. So just have fun with it and play around and see what you get. Yeah, I'm going to try these colors. I don't know. We'll see. I couldn't think of anything, and not really my favorite kind of color combo. I know yellow and purple complement each other, but I don't know. So we're just going to go with it and see what we come up with. What other leaves do I have? Let's see. Maybe we'll do the... this one like laying behind, maybe? Maybe this way would be better. It's always tricky, right? And obviously these are weird scale, but I just think it's fun. And you get the idea of what you're looking at, I think. And you're not going to see the end of that one, so that's good like that. With that leaf. And I think I might add one of these little doodads. I don't even really know what it is. Don't really care. So we're just going to kind of put it back here just so it's something kind of sticking up out, you know, and around, whatever. So we're going to come from behind that mushroom. Do some of these. I went to Staples today to get some paper because I ran out of paper, black paper, for doing die cuts. And I usually go to Hobby Lobby to get my craft card, or, you know, my different cardstocks. But I decided to go there because I thought I could get more, you know, like a whole ream is kind of what I was wanting. And they wanted me to fill out this whole thing to get points or whatever. I don't even know. I just was so like, I am so done with every time I go in someplace having to fill out all that stuff. And I'm sorry, I know I'm probably just an old grouch, but I'm just sick of it. I am so sick of doing that. And I know you're getting points, you're getting a benefit, but I also know that they sell your information half the time, and so then that just makes me angry. So yeah, I just was finally like, I just don't have time right now. I'm sorry, but I don't, to do this. So I don't think she was very happy with me, but that's okay. I mean, they want everything, all your information. It's like, no, go away. And I know she's just doing her job. It wasn't her fault at all. just tired of it. I think I'm going to kind of just draw so we know there's a leaf back here. Just some things in the background, if you see what I mean. Okay, I think we'll go with that, and we'll see what we get. We can always add some little grasses and all that, like I did on this one. I just added these little grasses, so we'll do all that stuff. So let's see what we get here. I am gonna, I think, erase this a little, and I don't know what I did with my big eraser. That would be very helpful. But yeah, I'm gonna have to find that. Hold on just a second. Okay, got it. I like these white erasers. They work very well because I don't leave any schmutz or anything on there. This will just be easier. The Tim Holtz Distress Oxides cover better than watercolor would, so it's not a huge problem. In fact, last time when I did the mushrooms, I drew them all out first with my black fine line, and then I had to go over it again because you couldn't hardly see where the lines were. So that's why this time I decided to just do it in pencil, and then I'll go back over it in pen, fine line marker. So yeah, I hope you guys join me. And if you don't have the stencils, just draw yourself out some mushrooms and leaves or whatever. You can find images and trace them or whatnot. So don't feel like you have to have those. All right. I mean, it's awesome if you do, but I appreciate it if you do. Let's say that. All right. So the first thing we'll do, I think, is go in with yellow. Start with yellow and just kind of get some yellow on here. And we'll add color to it. Because I don't know exactly how this is going to come out with the colors I have. And if you have different, I mean, you could use watercolor for this too. So if you don't have the Distress Oxides, you know, don't worry about it. They just kind of are fun to paint with because they do have that distress quality or that oxidizing quality with water. And I am just using water with them, just like regular watercolors. And so sometimes a color changes entirely from what you had originally wanted, you know. So I'm using the Squeeze Lemonade right now, and I have an 8 round brush. And wherever you can see those pencil marks, I'm not going to worry a ton about it because it is going to get covered. Try one a little more yellow. This Wild Honey definitely has an orange-ish quality to it, but I do like it for leaves and mushrooms and things. Turns out nice. I do have my window open, so if you hear outside sounds, that's why. Because it is lovely today. It's like yesterday, I think the high was like 67. It just never really got very hot, which hallelujah. I know it's going to come back because we have our forecast and it's going to get yuck again, but I'm going to enjoy it while it's here, that's for sure. Because I do love it. It's like perfect 60s, 70s. Yep, that's my sweet spot. Love those temperatures. And for the one at the back, maybe we will go with a purple. I have no idea what this is gonna come out like, guys, but we're just gonna go for it. Let's see what we get. That's the Dusted Concord, I think it's called, which to me is kind of our lilacs that grew in our yard at my dad's were more this kind of a color. I mean, it doesn't have to be totally perfect, but it is fun if you can get a color that is right. Kind of put a weird line up there at the top, so we're just gonna make that a little taller. And sorry I keep turning this, it just makes it easier to get all the spots. This one's really cool. You can see how it's kind of moving around with the water, and you can add more water to them, spritz them. That's what I did with those other mushrooms I did, and that's how I got that in the background, because then it just kind of bled out into the background, so that was kind of fun. All right, now the bottom part. So this one will go with the honey. I'm going to try to water it down just a little bit more. This may end up very odd looking. Don't know. But I just thought I could combine the two because I wanted to play with these, with the fall fodder stencils again with you guys after doing that one. And then I was like, I have no idea what to do for yellow and purple. So maybe I'll just do a yellow purple painting. See what we get. Go ahead and put just a little bit of this in here for spots and shadows. And this other purple. Why not, right? This really does that blooming very cool. In fact, I'm going to get this one a little bit more wet again. So we can get some of that color into it. I used a little bit on my brush. I used some shaded lilac and some of the wilted violet to get that look. I don't know how I'm going to do the leaves. I chose leaves that aren't usually yellow. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit more. Just go right along here. Just needs a little edge. And you can see it definitely goes out of the lines or whatever you want to say. It definitely does do that. Feel free to fast forward if you'd like. I understand it's kind of like watching paint or ice melt, paint melt, something like that. a little bit of the lighter yellow here. I know I just put dark and light and dark and light, but the layers really do help give you some variation, because otherwise you can see it starts to just look real flat, because these do dry pretty matte, these oxide colors. So I'm using the, what's it called, shaded lilac on here. And like I said, you never know what you're gonna get. That is the coolest part about these oxides. Now I need to kind of finish that little guy up. These dry really fast too, these oxide inks. You'll probably find. So one little spot, and of course I had to hit it. My brush is not holding its tip very well. Trying to round it out a little bit. Yeah, it makes really cool effects, I think. This is the lighter yellow, just trying to kind of mellow out this. It's dries very orange, that wild honey. I'll have to put this in my mushroom journal that Dee Dee Farrago made for me. It'd be a fun little addition. I hope you guys can see okay. Okay, now I'm gonna do those little, I don't know what they are. I mean, they were meant to be sort of like berries, so we'll do them in a, but they could also be flower buds. We'll do them in a purple color, because we'll probably do a lot of the leaf parts in yellows. And I'm using the wilted violet on this. I'm leaving some white space, not worrying about covering every bit, and some are coming out darker just depending on you know, if I dipped the brush again or not. And this stencils are really a guide. You don't have to keep them exactly the way they are. You know, you've seen me add like, I don't want to get too close. You know, the little stems in that, because these are super simple stencils on purpose so that you can do, you know, lots of different things with them. So I just dipped into the lighter, the lemonade one, after using the honey, the wild honey. Just to give me some variation. I've been listening to Grizzly True Crime. I listen to her a lot. It's just a good thing for me to turn on and listen to during the day when I'm cutting stuff on the Glowforge. And she's been following that manhunt in Philadelphia. Gosh, my prayers go out to you guys. Just stay safe. Holy smokes. So scary. They had an inmate escape, if you don't know what's going on, and he's in a residential sort of area, but there's a lot of woods and things there, and so he can hide, you know, easily. Which is very scary. I'm trying to see, I can't tell what I did here. I erased a little too much. I guess we're just gonna wing it and see what we get. And it's like they keep thinking they've got him, and then he eludes them. They said the undergrowth is just insane there, though, that there's spots where they can't even get through it. They have to cut it and everything as they move along. Okay, I just realized, oh yeah, that is, okay. It's like this part of the stem there. But yeah, very scary. Okay, and I'll let that one get dry. And then I want more of that lemon color I'm about out on here. Let me get the other yellow in there. And I'm using a piece of plastic and I squish it down on there. You can use glass or whatever, just some type of palette to, you know, let you move that around, okay. I'm gonna erase. increase that just a little more right there. Lighter lemony color over here. Even though I think these are usually brown, but I'm awful because I'm always a stickler for that. I mean, you can paint anything, any color you want. That's the awesome part about paint, right? But I really struggle sometimes. But then I can do my weird art dolls and I'm totally fine with that. But, you know, whatever. Who knows why? Yeah, this brush is just not doing its thing very good today. It's getting tired. Take some of the blue. Oh, that bled right into there. You do tend to get a lot more of that, I will say. Can't really see those. Just go like that. Okay, that makes that hard to see, so we're going to go back in with some, the thing when you're working with a limited palette, you got to play around with it more, it feels like. Okay, and then we'll do the one behind. Not sure how I want to do that one. We'll go with the I'd have to do just a little green, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. This is turning out really weird. Hopefully it'll get saved with the pens at the end. It's worth a try anyways, right? I like that leaf. I don't mind that some of the mushrooms are fine too, but think my yellow ended up a little more, what do you want to call it? Orange. And I wanted it. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I'm going to do one quick spritz, well, maybe more than one, but just to get some of the color to move out. And it's mostly going to be the purple, huh? Yep, so we're going to spray some of the yellow. Let's splatter it, actually. This is the wild honey. All right, let me see. All right, I'm going to get this dry and I'll be back. Okay, I am back. I'm going to move in a little bit closer and try not to turn and all that quite so much. Get some light on there. Light is weird today. All right, so I have Arteza Inconic fine line markers, and then I have my 2 micron, and one of these is green and one is brown. I'm just going to go in and do a little bit of marking for some green in here. It's hard to see because it's all sort of blended together now, which these oxide inks do. They are definitely different than watercolor, so don't think, oh, it's going to be just like watercolor. It is not at all like watercolor, really. I mean, you can use them in the same way. It's just going to turn out a whole lot different. And every time, like I said, I love playing with these because it comes out every time different. Just, I don't know, the colors are just so, wow. I think I'm going to do, like, there's another leaf here, even though I don't think there was. I don't even remember now. And I will be going over a lot of this in the black, which I know it's like, why did you bother? But I just want that little bit of different color there. Okay, there's that part. think that's enough with the green. Well, I might do, let me do the rest of the lines first. I might do some kind of grasses. On this, I'm going to go down the center with this brown, just to make it show up a little more. And you could do the same with the black. It doesn't have to be the brown. I just wanted it in brown. Sorry, I get turnsy when I am doing that. Mushrooms. I actually think I'll probably just go around them in the black. Alright, so probably the rest will be with the black fine liner, and this is, like I said, the 02. It's very fine, because I go around and I go around again. This is where you're really going to get your, you know, your definition, and that is going to come from the fine liner. Just because you don't get a ton from the Distress Oxide. I'm not trying to follow every line totally perfectly. Yeah, I did do some, but I also do just little scribbly things, and I just think it adds to it. Some dots, whatever you feel like. Doodlies. And what this will do is bring these things out from the same colors that are in the background. And you can go up around those again. It just gives you some dimension. Oh, and by the time you see this, and I know I'm not showing it, I will show it in a short probably. The Fall Fodder Digi, the second one with the pumpkins and all, well, should be done by the time you guys see this video. I have it ready to go. I just got to get it, do some things to it in Photoshop, and then one thing I have learned with doing these micron pens on watercolor paper, you don't want to push hard at all. You want to barely just skim them over it, because they really do not like the watercolor paper. It sort of kills them. Okay, like that. I'm liking it more and more. It's growing on me. And then, yeah, it was over this one and under that one. So this is where you're, like I said, you're really going to get your definition here. That definitely helps a ton. Get this leaf that's back behind. Definitely like the effect of the oxide. Just is so cool how it ends up being very different than what you might have thought. Yep. Trying to say, oh, I never even went around these. They ended up being much more flower-ish than berry-ish. Okay. I think I'm just gonna do these in black because I think they'll show up better and not worry about the grain. This is the thing these don't like at all. Is the dragging. This just sort of helps establish some ground rather than the floating feeling. But if you don't like this, you know, don't do it. And then I just did some little dots on those other ones I did, and I kind of liked that. It just gave them a little more interest. And you can see I'm just scribbling. I'm not even trying to make like perfect circles or anything. because plants, you know, they're not generally perfect. I mean, there are perfect things, but, or seemingly perfect. And then I took a white. Hold on just a second. And I just did little white dots on them. Not covering up the black entirely, kind of even going off to the side of it a little. And who knows what the heck they are, but they're cute. This is getting everywhere. What in the world? I think I'll put some in these too. The white helps brighten things up a little bit, I feel like. Just gives it a pop. And this is a Posca white. Okay, I think that's it. So I will grab my pen. A little bit more here. And sign it. Alrighty, that's what I have for Yellow and Lilac. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Definitely try painting with the Distress Oxides if you haven't, you know, already, because it really is kind of fun, and I think it turns out real cool. So definitely give it a try. All right, I will see you guys again soon. Love you guys. Talk later. Bye now.